So we are on horse 4 of 4 of our GoFundMe raiser, GoFundMe raiser, GoFundMe fundraiser. This is our smallest, Winz, and he is a halflinger. He has proper halflinger papers, which in theory should have meant that he was a bit safer. Unfortunately, as you will learn, that actually puts him in more danger, possibly the most danger of all of them. So Halflinger is a breed that is native to Italy. They are quite popular and arguably a dime a dozen, if you will. When Winz arrived to the current owner, he was not in good shape. He was breathing really badly. He was coughing a lot, and the people that had sent him had actually not wrapped his tail and protected it while he was traveling. So when he came, you can kind of see because of the color difference. When he came, this entire chunk of his tail was missing. It was almost down to the bone. And the abscess, the infection spread so much that all of this, you can see where the color differential is, all of this actually basically just peeled away, like it was burned away by infection. The current owner, for whatever reason, was convinced that Winz was a jerk and refused to treat him. So I went down there every single day and drained the abscess repeatedly, treated him until we finally got it, kind of taken care of. It's been growing back. The other thing, like I said, is that he came really bad breathing. He was coughing a lot. And the owner's intention was to send him back to the people who had sold him to him because they obviously hadn't been honest about his condition, which is true. But when I asked what would happen with the pony, he informed me that because Winz has a fancy microchip, the people that he had bought him from intended to send him to the slaughterhouse. They would take the microchip out of him and implant it into another halflinger that did not have papers. So we've actually been fighting for Winz's life since his arrival. I did manage to convince the owner at that time not to go that route. I said that's just so unethical and immoral and not fair. I then spent 2 weeks arguing that he needed to bring a vet in to figure out why we were having such an issue with the coughing and the breathing. Finally, he did. The pony was diagnosed with severe dust allergies, which is not as uncommon as you might think in horses. So he did treat him with some medication we bought for him. It did not clear up, and I then was able to convince him to send him here to where he could live with our herd on our big 18-acre paddock, where he basically didn't have to live in a stall. He would have free-range grazing, which meant he wouldn't need to be on hay so much. When we feed him, we wet all of his food down. And we actually have not heard this pony cough since April, which is fantastic. It's a testament to the fact that what we're doing is working, the management is working, and that the medication that we used was working. He will need to go back on the same meds when winter rolls around because we obviously, he will have to be on hay. That will start the dust allergy up again. But in light of all of this, his value, which was already, his microchip was already worth more than he is, plus his meat price, I guess. His value is pretty small. He's not a super wonderful kid's pony. He can be a bit strong-headed. He doesn't do well in the arena. He is fantastic on the trails, and he is sound with no feet or no shoes, which is really great for us. But he's just not, again, this is a dime a dozen breed that you can find here in Italy. There's 100 of them, just like him within a mile radius of here. This is really typical. So he is worth more for his microchip than his meat. So that's why we're trying to fundraise for him. And we have been arguing with the owner since his arrival, like I said, way back in February. And every step of the way, he's fought us. All he cares about is getting his money back. I have negotiated and negotiated and offered and offered and offered. I actually keep this pony here on the farm for free. Unlike the other sales horses that are here, I do not charge him any kind of livery fee because I just want the pony to be safe. So everything, all costs involved with him are already on me. And finally, just the other day, we did manage to convince the owner to take the offer that we had made, which is $1,500, which I think is more than fair, probably a little bit high, but for this pony's life, definitely worth it. And he can be an integral part of our trail system as well, helping to support himself and his fellow rescue horses, because he is a good little pony, and as long as he's properly managed and you don't mind the kind of little bit of extra care that he requires, and the medications and stuff through the winter, he's perfectly healthy, perfectly sound, able to do a really wonderful job. We all love him. He's very cheeky. He is convinced that he's a stallion. He is not, but you know, we might end up with like 6 Winz babies next year if there's some small chance that he has an undescended testicle, because he is really convinced that he's a stallion. He's really taken over the herd here. He keeps all of the mares in line. He keeps the other geldings away from his mares, including Baby Roto. It's very funny. But he's just a fun, really, really fun character. Yes, he's got some special needs, but you know what? Who doesn't? And we're fully equipped to be able to provide for that. So yeah, again, we're trying to raise funds for him and his 3 other friends, all with the same owner who really doesn't care at all about their well-being or their futures. He just wants his money. So if we can raise it, then we're guaranteeing them a very good life here at the sanctuary, being a pretend stallion for as long as he wants. You can donate through the GoFundMe link, or you can send through PayPal. We also have a Venmo, and we can send an IBAN if you prefer that method. So thank you guys so much for listening and for caring about these guys as much as we do. Wincy might give you a kiss. He'll think about it.